Hey everybody,
Hey,
welcome back. Yes,
Welcome back.
welcome back to Business Bits. It's the last
Business
show.
Bits.
Business Bits. We might have to change the name soon a little bit for Alexa, but we'll see. We're
Oh,
going to talk to everybody about our trip upcoming, Dad, because I know we're going to be out of the office the rest of the week in Chicago.
right.
And we're also going to talk to everybody a little bit about the recession because it's coming. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, or it might be sometime next year or in the future.
Right,
But after
sure.
this bull market, there is a recession sometime in the future coming. And if you're closer to retirement as a business owner, you definitely have to make the moves strategically to put yourself in place to thrive during a potential recession because
Right.
you're not going to have the same amount of time to make back up what you might have lost.
Fundamentally, a very good point, Mike, because you know what? A recession is always going to occur. We don't know when the next shoe is going to drop. It can be deferred due to Fed's action to lower interest rates, or if we get a deal with China and these tariffs go away and all of a sudden everything is good, the global economy is improving. But eventually, business runs in cycles. It mostly flows, but sometimes it ebbs. And at the end of the day, you've got to ask yourself the question, how prepared am I as a business owner? Not only as to how it's going to affect your ability to transact business with your customers and to deliver value at a profit, but also how prepared are you to withstand a downturn in the market in your investments? Because if you need cash flow, you've got to be very focused on making sure you have principal protected. You know, in one of my old books, Mike, Conquering the Fear of
Yeah.
Outliving Your Money, I wrote this story about John and Susan. And they both have the same ambitions. They each want to retire at age 65, and they both have $500,000 to
Yeah.
retire with. They're going to take a modest amount, 5% a year, which is like $24,000, $25,000 a year. Increase that a little bit each year to beat inflation. And John runs out of money at age 82. Now, he didn't lose money because he ended up withdrawing money, right, over 17 years, about $580,000. He started with 500,000, but he did run out of money because of bad market performance in the early years that really just eroded his capital early in his retirement. Susan, on the other hand, she has the wind at her back. She just is she's anointed with the blessing of good timing. The markets are roaring early in her retirement, and because of that, yeah, she suffers some losses in her stock market portfolio, but it's not until way downstream, way down the years have passed into retirement, and her money lasts even up through age 89 when she passes away, in my hypothetical example. And she leaves, well, number one, she collected over $911,000 in cash flow, breathtaking, but she also leaves $1 million plus inheritance to her family. Wow. Huge difference, the pendulum swinging from John, who runs out of money, to Susan, who doesn't. And they both started with the same amount of money working for them. The difference was the sequence of returns. When the market is for you, when it's against you. John, the markets went against him early in retirement, and it made all the difference. It caused him the heartburn of running out of money. And folks, none of us can time the market. No one is a prognosticator. No one has the tarot cards or the Ouija board to really genuinely know when and how markets are going to decline. Neither do we. But we do know that you can have a plan that whether the markets go up or down, as a business owner and retiree hopeful, you'll thrive no matter what.
Yes, absolutely. Because you mentioned it right there. The sequence of returns are totally really what people need to focus on when it comes to retirement. Because depending on how the markets shake out, those sequence of returns could either be extremely for you
That's right.
or absolutely against you. And the strategies that got you to retirement are not necessarily the strategies that are going to help get you through. And the strategies constantly change. That's why we're taking a trip to head on out to Chicago for a couple days.
Right.
Because there's always new strategies. And I believe, Dad, it's the first time we're going to be out there
Right.
without some of the staff members. So it's been a while that we're able to just get away.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. You know, Chicago's a great city. I've only ever been there one time, but I'm definitely going to get some deep dish pizza, and we got to try some of those Italian hot dogs on the poppy seed bun with the sweet sport peppers and all the diced onions and what have you. It'll be fun. We got to visit the Bean, and I think we're actually going to see a show, Hamilton the
yes.
Musical, which is a little combination of hip hop and old music and what have you. A great representation brought forth to Broadway way, by Lynn Manuel, who is the creator of that. So it'll be a lot of fun and
Absolutely.
good learning as well, though. In Chicago, I hear it's one hell of a town.
Yep.
So
And
should
I'm
be
a
fun.
serial one-upper, so since you were just at Burns, might try to one-up Jonah there, so we'll never know what happens before the show, because I know we're going to a steakhouse too, so we'll see how that goes. But going out there, it's really to learn new strategies, and that goes back
Yep.
to retirement and the sequence of returns, because as a business owner, accumulation and building up your assets
Right.
is not exactly the same as creating cash flow from those assets,
Sure.
especially if you want to maybe not fully retire but take a step back. Creating cash flow is entirely different than the strategies that kind of built you up your business to begin with.
Right.
And that's why every business owner should be listening to Business Bits, or
I agree.
have some sort of financial coach in their corner, be it us or somebody else to their local market. Really, business owners need someone there to have a watchful eye over
That's
their
right.
business.
Yeah, not to tell you what to do, but to be guardrails and to help guide you in the right direction. You know, funny, Mike, this morning I had a meeting with business owners that are selling their business for a 7-figure price. And it's a business, they manufacture oxygen equipment for oxygen bars as well as aromatherapy. And it's a good business. For whatever reason, they decided it was time to sell, but now they're deferring the tax, waiting on this new purchaser to get a SBA, Small Business Administration loan, and they're hoping it doesn't close till October, because September is historically one of their best months for whatever reason, and they still are yearning for that cash flow. Once they get the check and it's all over, they no longer own the business, all of a sudden they're going to start to think about, wow, how am I going to create and diversify a cash flow to mirror what I gave up when I sold my business? It's great to be out of the business. I have a sense of freedom. I can kind of soar like an eagle, but will I have a nest to return to, right? And how predictable is my cash flow going to be going forward? And the truth is, they don't know the answer to that. That's why they came in to see me. And right now, I don't know the answer to that. But collaboratively, by putting together the best concepts and creating a detailed plan through one modular of our complete compass or retirement compass review plan, we're going to be able to architect a plan and design it so they have great diversified cash flow, but keep their taxes as low as possible, which is always in style for the business owner who turns into the passive retiree, because they lose a lot of their tax deductions, which is another big thing. As a business owner, when you no longer have a business, many of the activities or the things that you just take for granted, things that you deduct from your cottage industry or your home-based business, or a lot of the expenses that you could classify as at least partly business, they go away. So you may actually see an assiduous creep in of more taxes if you don't ethically develop strategies to defeat them. So a lot of things the business owner really has to contend with, but that's the space we love to be in as advisors and business owners ourselves. And certainly that's what this whole program, Business Bits, is all about.
Yep, and that's why we're heading out to Chicago as well, because pretty much we've been building messaging specifically for business owners. That's where Business Bits came
right.
about, and we're doing our wine and cheese events in the local area. Unfortunately,
a
if
lot
you're
of fun.
listening on in Germany, France, or someone in California, because I know we have some people listening overseas, you won't be able to attend our wine and cheese, but you can always reach on out to us. But we are doing pretty much a lot of stuff geared towards the business owners because they're
Right.
unique situations.
Well, right, yeah, and I think it's kind of a day and a thing that's an idea that's had its time to come to fruition, because as a business owner myself, I really like to communicate with business owners, and we speak a little bit of a different language, number one. Number two, I really don't see out in the field, I don't see advisors that really are working with business owners in not only a business consulting level, but also in the financial level to really help to create that tiered integration, finance and business, and also transitioning into retirement. So we think it's an underserved marketplace,
Yeah.
and we're delighted to be out here creating trade and commerce, but also communicating with the business owner through Business Bits and hosted events like the Wine and Cheese, which will be a fabulous time in an informal setting to really get acquainted amongst the oak barrels with folks and find out what their business concerns are and their hopes and dreams for retirement. So it's very, very exciting. A lot of good things happening here at the practice, the Educated Wealth Center, and we're happy to bring some of them to you here in Business Bits.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to close up today's show because we got to head on the road. We're bringing the show with us. So next time you see us, we'll be in Chicago, but we're going to wrap it on up and close this one a little bit early today because we have a lot of stuff to do to head on out of town to
Most
get
definitely.
to continue thriving and figuring out what the next strategies are to make sure business owners and retirees are prepared and not just scared and left behind. Because you had it happen this morning. Someone came on into the office.
Right.
They're getting rid of their business, but their first thought, it sounds like, is what are they going to do about that income
What am I
that
gonna do
they're
with the
about
cash
to
flow?
lose? And that is something all business owners have to go through.
Absolutely, folks. But we always love to visit with you, and I love the paraphrase that I like to conclude our programs with. It comes from the old paraphrase of an old Irish prayer. May the wind be gently at your back, my friend. May the sun shine warmly on your face. May the misty low road rise up to meet the high road. And until our paths meet again, my friend, may God anoint you with good health, richly bless you, and have a magnificent day. Goodbye now.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the videos. If you got some more free time, I know you do, make sure you check this video out right here. And if you don't like that one, make sure you check this one out too, or just watch them both. See you guys soon.